the pleasure again this year to welcome New Hampshire House Representative Jenn Coffey. She's played a lot of roles. She used to be the head of the Second Amendment Sisters in New Hampshire. She's currently and was author, I believe, of the new knife bill in New Hampshire that recently passed. And it's a great honor and pleasure again this year to introduce Jennifer Coffey, House Representative. Please give her a big hand.
Thank you very much. I'm always shorter than the speaker before me. It's coming to habit. It's my pleasure to be back here again this year. I love coming out here this year. It's become our family's yearly ritual to be here, and I'm glad to see so many faces out here. The First Amendment is one that I value highly, and it's not a Republican issue, and it's not a Democratic issue. It's a liberty issue. And far too often we're watching our liberties be eroded. How many of you have gone to an event, not like this one, maybe one where there's a lot of political types around, and you're told to stand behind a fence with armed guards, and they call it the free speech zone? Is that free speech when you're told where you can stand, what you can get away with saying before they bust you off somewhere like they did in New York? Recently, our state has been under an even greater attack on our Second Amendment rights. That has become no more evident than what we saw occur in our own State House. The very building that is supposed to uphold our Constitution banned firearms, banned knives. As a matter of fact, the way they wrote it, you could say they banned just about anything you can use to defend yourself. Pepper spray, pen, anybody? I can use a pen pretty well. We can't allow these things to occur, and it's up to us to vote them out. It's up to us to insist that those that sit in those seats to represent us will not do such unconstitutional acts as to actually create a rule that prevents the Constitution from existing within those walls. How much more of an affront than to say the Second Amendment doesn't apply here? Another thing that I think is very important, that I think that's being lost, is the lack of understanding that our citizens seem to have in their own rights. I took my son and stood out in front of the New Hampshire State House, and he'd stop people as they walked by and he'd say, "Can you tell me your favorite TV show?" People would be more than happy to tell him. "Hey buddy, can you tell me 5 characters from that TV show you like?" And they'd tell him. And he'd say, "Can I ask you one more question? Can you tell me what 5 rights are guaranteed to you under the First Amendment of our Constitution?" And let me tell you, not one single person that he stopped could answer him. And that is a travesty. It is a travesty that our youth are not educated. It is a travesty that us as adults do not know our own rights. And if you don't know what they are, will you recognize it when they're gone? There was one guy, I'll say, got pretty close. He got 4. And he looks at my son and he says, "All right, I give up. What am I missing?" And my son says, "The right to redress of grievance." The guy looks at my son and goes, "Oh my God, I'm an attorney. I can't believe I forgot that." I was very, very proud to be joined in a bipartisan effort to renew part of our Second Amendment rights. And that was with the New Hampshire Knife Rights Bill. I was told when I first started it that it wouldn't work, or that my way wasn't the right way. What we have is a situation where the first time in United States history, a state has removed all prohibitions regarding knives, and that happened right here in New Hampshire. And I'm very proud to have been the prime sponsor.
Very good. All right.
I've come to the conclusion, though, I'm not done yet. I think there's more work to be done, and I'm going to ask you to support what I think is the next step. I intend, if I'm reelected, and believe me, I need help for that, But if I'm re-elected, I have every intention of introducing a bill to institute constitutional carry for the state of New Hampshire. You should not have to ask the government for permission to exercise your Second Amendment right. But I need you to help me. If you don't live in my district and you live in another district, ask those running, will they support it? Ask them if they'll vote for it. That'll tell you a lot about a possible legislator. Are they going to support your Second Amendment right? If they hem and haw, if they won't give you a straight answer, if they tell you I have to look into that, they're not your candidate. Your candidate should not hesitate for a moment to say that they will value, support, protect, and vote for your Second Amendment right. Insist on it. And if you find somebody that was willing to do that, help them. Remember, New Hampshire House and Senate members make $100 whopping a year before taxes. They actually do take taxes out on us. I work full-time as an EMT. That is not my paying job. That is my volunteer job. And I'm proud to serve the people of my community. And I'm honored that they've bestowed that on me. And it's a great responsibility. But we need your help. If you yourself can't run, then support somebody who can. Get out there and hold a sign for them. Pass out literature. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your friends. We're losing our liberties because people don't talk to one another anymore. They don't talk to their children. They don't talk to each other. Nobody knows what their rights are. They go about their day-to-day business, and they don't pay attention until it either hits them in the wallet or they find themselves on the wrong end of a law. And then they go, wait a minute, don't I have a right to protect me against that? Well, guess what? It got taken away when you weren't looking. And that's what's happening. And that's what we have to stop. And that's why you being here today is important. And why when you leave here today, don't leave, go home and say nice event. Go home and talk to your neighbors, to your family, to your friends, to your children, most importantly. If our children are raised without having a clue about the Constitution, what will our society become? I know what I see on the horizon is frightening me, and I hope it's frightening you. Together we can create a better society, one that remembers what it was founded on. Nobody gave us these rights. We were born with them. The government doesn't give you your right to your Second Amendment. It doesn't give you your right to free speech. It doesn't give you your right to practice religion. You were born with it. The Constitution says government can't take it from you. I want to leave you with a thought. When I kind of woke up in the world and realized what was happening to my society, because I'll tell you, about 5 years ago, I was somebody that had no clue. I went about my day, I did my job, I took care of my family, and I thought that's what life was. I didn't realize I was losing my own rights. I was that person that I'm describing. When I woke up, I became active, and I called myself an activist. I got active in gun rights. I got active in Real ID. I got active in privacy rights. I got out there to fight for my rights. And when I fought for the knife bill, I was gaining a lot of supporters, and I had a really interesting conversation with a man named Aaron Zellman. And he asked me what I did for liberty. What did I do for gun rights? And I was very happy to tell him the different projects I worked on and told him I was an activist. He said, an activist? What's that? Have you ever heard of an activist judge? Have you ever had an activist that works for the Brady campaign? Do you really want to be associated with that? Of course not. None of us do. So I'm going to encourage all of you to think about this. He corrected me, and he was right. And from that point on, I have never called myself an activist again. I call myself a Bill of Rightist, because that's what I am. I'm not like them. I believe in our Bill of Rights, and I believe it is my job to protect my own rights. And I believe that job is all of you. So I'd like to leave you with the idea of going home calling yourselves Bill of Rightists, and to then be that. Be a Bill of Rightist, and share that with everyone who's willing to lend you an ear. Leave here today empowered to know that you as an individual have the ability to create great change and restoration of our rights. You as an individual have the power to make sure that those who are representing you are doing their jobs, are upholding their oaths. You as an individual have all of the power. They have none. And they need to be reminded of that from time to time. And I'm going to ask you to do just that. So again, thank you. Have a good afternoon. And be with me when we introduce constitutional carry, because I'm going to need you out there telling them that's what you want. Is that what you want?
Yeah!
Then join me at the State House when we fight for that bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenn.